Have you been love bombed? We've got yogi Nicole Sciacca in to help us find out, and we're going to play our game Strike Up Poser and sip on our nightcap, the Namas-TE-quila and Lime. All this and more tonight on It's Complicated.
You're listening to It's Complicated with your hosts Jennifer Golden and Lauren Leonelli, coming to you live from the AfterBuzz TV studios in Los Angeles, California.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back for another episode of It's Complicated.
The struggle is real when you're dating in the city.
I'm Lauren.
And I'm Jen. And guys,
yeah,
we are here. And we're excited because we're discussing love bombing.
Yes.
With our favorite yogi extraordinaire, Nicole Sciacca.
That's right, you guys. Nicole is a yoga teacher, and she is also a functional range conditioning mobility specialist. That is an acronym, an FRCMS. It's legit. We will talk about it more, but she's also a dancer and an actress. She is a former studio owner and operator of Hustle and Flow Fitness in Venice. So if you're out in LA, then you would know what that is. And is currently the chief yoga officer at Playlist Yoga, which is where our shirts are from.
Yep. Mine says passion, love, can't read upside down, appreciate, yoga.
Mine says get lost in the flow, which I do when I'm in class, especially with Nicole because she's hard AF and it's great.
So fun.
So fun. And she works at Playlist Yoga in West Hollywood, and her classes are very like high energy. The studio is really music based, and they have flow classes, and they teach like alignment and mobility and yoga philosophy, and it's like super sleek and cool and modern, and like your locker is like an artist. So if you put your clothes in your purse in your locker, it's like you could be
Beyonce.
like Notorious B.I.G.
Or Beyonce.
Yeah. Justin Timberlake.
I'm
I usually
always
go for
Beyonce.
that one.
Yeah, you do. And guys, she has the experience to back it up. Just a mere 25 years of formal dance training and over a decade of yoga asana continued education. And she also has a 5-year-old son that consistently fuels her passion to, work on overall health. She also helps with approachable wellness and a sense of personal sanity.
Yes, and Nicole has been featured in publications like Yoga Journal Online, E! News, Women's Health, and the Chalkboard Mag. She also holds a BA in a theater from Loyola Marymount and resides in Culver City, California with her mini Michael Jackson enthusiast. That is her son, who is obsessed with Michael Jackson. How cute is that?
He's the cutest, and you can see more of him on her social media platforms that she'll tell us about when she...
like so cute.
Yeah.
She's a momtrepreneur.
A momtrepreneur, our favorite kind of mom.
Yeah.
And guys, Nicole's energy is unparalleled, and her sense of humor is like the best thing I'll be like in a pose and like she'll say something and I just like laugh.
And that's it. That's what you need in those moments too.
Yeah.
She helps you breathe.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
She loves all people. She believes that everyone looking to work hard or change their physicality has a story, and it fascinates her to work with these individuals and help them unlock their fullest potential on the mat and off. It's all about the yoga lifestyle everywhere you go.
Oh, yeah. And guys, well, we're going to get into this later, but she believes that our yoga practice is never done. Our story is never as it seems, like some other things like relationships and stuff. And that every single person has the ability to surpass their own wildest expectations.
Welcome to the studio, Nicole. Yay!
Yay!
Oh my God.
Can I do kicks?
Yeah, you can do
yeah.
all the kicks. You can even curse.
Oh,
There's
God,
things
I'm
that
in
you
my-
can do in here that
I'm
are
in
great.
my element.
You
Yeah.
are kicking and cursing. That's what we do here.
Oh my God, it's a hashtag.
Yeah,
It is. Hi.
Oh my God. Okay, so Nicole, now that we have you in the studio,
Yeah.
and we've got, we've got to start drinking because it just needs to start
'Cause
happening.
Tequila.
We have our
Tequila and yoga,
nightcap.
they go together.
Well, they do when it's a Namas-TE-quila and Lime. That's right. Tequila and Lime is your jam. So we, made it cute and we added liqueur because like you just need a little effervescence. You bring effervescence into people's lives in the
God
yoga.
bless you.
So we just figure we'll do it for you too.
No.
Plus we're kind of pussies about drinking tequila, so we
She
had
went
to-
there with the word. Ugh.
I am. I have a hard time with it, but know what? I really like it with the lime, and it's actually, I'm slowly sinking my way back into it. Plus, Nosotros tequila is our jam if we're going to drink it. It's very good tequila.
No, this is drinkable. I'm into it.
So yeah, we are. We're just, we're gonna drink this. Sometimes we need this because we want to give it to you straight. So we need to take a sip of this, and we can't really drink it straight. So
And there's less sugars. You're not gonna, and you're hydrating yourself because there's water.
Yeah.
and
Right.
addendum.
See?
Do you see?
Exactly.
Are you doing that?
I love it.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
And La Croix, anything with La Croix. But so we're also dressed for this occasion,
Yes, we
guys,
are.
because we are wearing our yoga gear from Style Firm.
Yes.
And we're wearing a jacket and pants. And the founders of Style Firm, guys, wanted to create a fitness line for the every woman. And that's like very in line with Maria Menounos, who owns AfterBuzz TV. It's her whole thing is like everybody, every woman.
Everyday girl, every woman can be like, her own woman and her own thing, thriving in her own thing. Like, this is how you do this. She has books that show you like how to cook and how to do everything like an everyday girl.
So the original objective was to create a pant that was stylish and felt good and that looked good on the body. On every body, and that's all the different kinds of bodies, guys. And the design also had to be street wearable, taking you from bar class to brunch, athleisure.
Yeah, athleisure. It's a real thing. Also, these women were determined to create a magic pant, which I think we're all in search for, are we not? I mean, it's like you want something that's gonna like slim the thighs, like lift the butt, flatten the tummy, and like still be comfortable. Like
They're like the Spanx of yoga pants.
Wouldn't that be amazing? Well,
Workout pants.
don't worry, because the pants I'm wearing are doing that right now. And they worked with like a team of designers and experts to like, fuse the fabric and cut it in particular ways so that they like could make this perfect, like they have a bootleg, they have a capri legging, a running tight, jackets, and the little black dress of activewear is what they call it. It's like all these things, and they're all black and like slimming and great. And so I put the pants on, and like legit, like I felt them in the certain like softer parts of my leg, like it was like sucking it in. Like I could feel, you can feel on the pants where they made the fabric like more firm.
It's like I don't know. There's like a pattern in it. Like
you can kind of see like if you really like
there's
look
like
at it.
stitching and different materials. Contouring.
And
yes,
it looks
thank
good.
you for helping.
It looks good. I mean, they're just like black pants. They look,
Words are not a thing.
They look
apparently.
fantastic. So you guys, we're wearing the competitor tight and the shelter hoodie jacket, and you can get them at stylefirmoflosangeles.com.
We even have a hoodie.
I'm like honestly, I feel like I just worked out like a lot, and I just put the pants on.
I know it actually makes me feel like good, like even though I didn't work out. So
so
I
there we
pretend
go.
I did. But guys, now we need to talk.
Yeah,
This is where you come in.
Yeah.
Okay, so we need you to help us help one of our listeners. Okay, so this is our section where like our listeners write in and they've got some stuff they want to talk about, and us and our guests to really walk them through some things.
Yeah.
So
We
Janelle,
need your help, too.
Yeah, Janelle in LA. Asks, or she says, I really like this guy I'm dating, and I think he seems really into me too. Things are progressing quickly, but I'm worried I'm overlooking some things because of the excitement. How can I reel it in a little to make sure I'm not missing some of the obvious red flags?
I mean,
Yeah, what do you think?
I don't know about that. Well, if there's already obvious red flags.
No, I think she's saying, what if I'm missing something? It's
'cause
happening
she's so
a little.
excited.
Yeah, it's like she's excited and it's happening a little bit fast, and so she's like, I think what she's saying is like, oh my God, wait, hold on, should I like put the brakes on a little bit and like take my time, because I feel like, what if I'm missing something? What if I'm like getting too ahead of myself? What if
Yeah,
I'm
like wrapped
not?
up in the hype.
Yeah.
That's hard because when you're feeling it and the energy's there and it's like a
You don't wanna
like a
stop
love spark.
it.
No,
Yeah.
you don't. It's momentum. Like when do you ever want to do that?
Yeah.
And
Right.
you should. I just read in this book. I'm reading like 4 books at one time because I have ADD and I can't just focus on one book. So I'm reading one of the fucking books I'm reading is called The Untethered Soul. And
I
it's
have that.
Of course,
I
because
love
it's
it.
it's like a Bible of meditation and mindfulness. And I just read this today. Is like the heart center. When would you ever want to close it? Why would you want to close it? Why would you want to close that down? So if you're feeling excited, go for it. You're gonna make some mistakes, whatever. Like it's all gonna present itself in due time.
I agree.
Like you can't put the cart before the
Horse.
thanks.
Right.
What would we do? What would the world do without me to finish the sayings? She can never do it.
I don't know
you
them.
have to
She-
Well, I'd say like the cart before the other cart.
Other cart. Yeah, I mean, I think if I would sort of go along with that, it is hard to stop your feelings. So you can't, but if you're all of a sudden being mindful, like, I think that's something to pay attention to. So even if your feelings aren't, maybe you're like, oh my God, I'm really having fun. Wait a second. Should I be paying attention? Maybe that if you're telling yourself, should I be paying attention to something? Maybe that does mean that you need to stop.
Yes.
Like, don't, your feelings are your feelings, but maybe be a little more conscious about how careful or careless you're being. And not careless in like a bad way, but just more like throw caution to the wind way.
Yeah.
So maybe just pay attention to like, that doesn't mean you need to like put on the brakes and tell them like, I don't want to be doing this, but maybe it's going to help you savor the moment more instead of thinking about like where we should be or what if this happens. And like, because you want to make sure that basically, I think we're all in it for the long run. So if your goal is to have this like relationship that has longevity and that's what you're going for, maybe you do want to say like, okay, I think I need to be a little more mindful. So it's not like instant gratification burns out quick and then nothing.
Yeah.
So we've all been there. I had a relationship before the guy I'm with where it was like that right away. And while I did not want to stop it, it maybe had nothing to do with the speed, but it ended up burning out bad.
Yeah.
Well, I have a multi-pronged, long-winded answer for everyone.
Oh, wow.
Yay!
As I do.
I was hoping you'd say that.
Yeah, it's so fun. So I have two responses to this. That one, if there's like two versions of this whole like speed factor. I think in our minds as maybe females, I'll just pick our sex because we're in this room and we're the more like romantic comedy, like hopeless romantic version of the sexes. I think we all want that like thing we see in movies where it's like, we've been waiting for each other all this long and now we found each other and it's so fast because it's perfect. And so you hope that that happens. So when something does move fast, you're like, well, it must be that thing because
Yeah,
it's perfect.
true. Good point.
So you're like not seeing the signs like we're saying and like just diving in because you're like, someone is coming after me.
See, this
so-
must be meant to be.
Right.
It's all just happening so perfectly.
And so you're making something of it because you want it to be that thing versus it really being that thing. So I think, are we hunting for the thing or are we hunting for the real guy, and if that's the case, then he probably, who cares how fast it goes if he's the right guy for you.
Yes.
But you've done your due diligence to say, okay, does he check off the things that are important to me and not like, is he tall and handsome and that kind of thing. I mean, he could also be, but like, is he a
could
good
be.
human?
Right.
Is like all your deal breakers.
all the things that you have to sort of like spend some time to really know if they're real.
Like character things.
Yeah.
Things like long term. Like, can you see yourself with this person the rest of your life and not until they like are no longer hot? Like, real things. So I think there are two approaches. And Janelle, maybe you need to really sit with that.
I like that one.
So
I think
good.
That's
Thanks.
really good.
It was long.
You can go home now.
Thank you.
You're done.
I feel
That's
like I
perfect.
feel the same.
I feel
Perfect.
like
It's
you
a
don't-
wrap on her.
Yeah, that's right.
I'm gonna just keep drinking.
That's a
You guys
wrap on-
talk. I'm gonna drink. I drink.
Okay, but don't forget, if you want to keep talking, to follow us on all the socials at Complicated Show, where you can send us questions and give us answers and tell us you like our tight yoga pants and that you tried our Namas-TE-quila and Lime. And
Or
that
if you
thought it
want to
was
take
great.
a yoga class with us and Nicole.
Or if you want to go on a date with Jen.
Oh, that too. Hi, call me.
Any of those things.
Right. Well, guys, but don't love bomb us.
That's what we're talking about
Right.
tonight.
Okay, so
Have you
love
heard of
bombing.
this? Do you know what this
No.
is? It's a thing.
Are
you
you
know like
ready?
what ghosting is?
Yeah,
You
I know
okay,
about
it's
ghosting.
like this is another one of those.
Oh no.
Lauren, would you like to tell us?
Well, you guys, it is this. It's it's like a tactic that's been used for years. Okay, it's been around for a while, so you're gonna like be familiar with it. But it's only recently just received this name. Love bombing is when someone moves a relationship along really quickly, a la maybe Janelle, our listener.
Yeah, Janelle.
Telling you that they love you on the second date. They're like, you know what I mean? Like making plans to move in with you quickly after you meet. This is legit the guy I dated before, my boyfriend now. And just generally, they're just showing you like loads of affection all the time. But also you have to know that like the receiving end, it's not like love bombing. I mean, I guess it could happen to anybody, but imagine it like, you're actually liking this too. Like you're in it also,
because
right?
you're like, oh my goodness, this person is so set on me. They choose me.
Well, and you
they're
like
so
them too, so
enthusiastic.
you're like, oh my God, right?
And so you believe it, except, guys, that then it's followed by manipulation and controlling behavior and can even lead to emotional abuse or physical I know.
I mean, anything could potentially, but
Right.
this could be. These are like signs of
Right. They
not-
reel
yeah.
you in with overwhelming love, lull you into a sense that they adore you and would never hurt you. They give you this false sense of security,
Yeah.
basically,
Yeah.
because they came on so strong that their feelings are so intense, and like you're like, well, they love me, so I'll do anything to fix it and stay in it. And so, if you would like to use it in a sentence, guys.
Oh my God.
I didn't realize he could act like this because he was love bombing on me in the beginning of our relationship. I don't know where that sentence came from because it's really poor grammar.
But you get it. Like it comes all of a sudden. Then you're like, whoa! You see the light. This person's doing crazy shit, but you believe them in the moment. I 1,000,000% was love bombed.
100%, million%.
Like it's like those descriptions of like what happens and like telling you they love you on the second date and telling you they're gonna move in with you. All those things happen to me.
Crazy town. Have you ever been love bombed?
No, but there's so much of that sounds like the entry behavior for a narcissist. Do you know what I'm saying?
Oh,
Where
yeah.
that person
Oh, yeah.
wants to get you on their side or to get you in the like quicksand so that then
Yeah.
they can manipulate and control and do
Oh,
their
yeah.
and then it becomes just a tool. You know what I'm saying? I don't think I've been love bombed, but I've definitely dated a few narcissists. But they didn't come at it like that. That would freak me out. First of all, you don't know me. I
Yes.
don't like touching. I like my space. I don't. Even my current boyfriend, God bless him, he like will go to spoon me and then he'll be like, "Is it it's separation time?" I'm like, "Yep." So you're gonna be over here.
I'm so
I'm
the
gonna put
same
this
way.
pillow right here, and then
Guys.
I'm gonna be 4 feet on this side. Like you don't know me. I don't want you moving in
Yeah.
with me.
No.
I don't want your
Totally.
love out of the gate.
Right.
Yeah.
I want to make my own choices. What
Totally.
is that? Creeps me out. I'm
It's
sorry.
Totally
like
weird.
a stalker fan.
It-
You know
right,
what?
right.
It's
You gotta-
creepy.
you
It's
gotta
not
see that
creepy.
coming.
You have to see it
Come
coming.
on.
I will say though, because I brought my situation up, I knew this guy like all my life. Like we grew up together. We ran in like parallel circles. Our circles like didn't intersect totally, but like my mom knew his mom. I knew where his childhood home was. He was. We all. I mean, I've known him since I was 11 years
that's
old.
different.
So it felt kind of okay because like our friends were. So
You
but
probably felt, you're like, oh my God, that
we're
version I
cut
was
from
talking
the
about.
same
where-
cloth and like
Yeah,
it all
no.
made sense, and then it was fucking creepy AF. And I am totally like you too. My boyfriend would like spoon me and like I'm like, ow, he's so rough. His hands are like he's like rough, and he like and then he's like, I can't even touch you. I'm like, and then I feel bad, but I do. I'm like, get off of me. I can't at night. I cannot sleep. If you're like on me, I'm like, and I can't even. He falls asleep in 2 fucking seconds, and his heavy ass leg is, and he's in like a weird fucking yoga pose too. He's like all on top of me, and I can't get him off of me. I can't. I'm like,
No.
I'm like choking.
I should tap out.
I'm like, help. Yeah, I need to. I think I need to take your class a little more so I can like beef up
Yeah,
and get
that's
to.
exactly
I'm like,
right.
but I need personal space too. I get it.
Yeah, like I feel like once you get to a certain age too, I feel like you really like your space and you like your routines and you like your sleep a lot because you don't get it all the time and you have a child and then you work and like all the things and it's like you have to balance so many things that like sometimes your personal space and sleep are like the most important thing that can happen to you.
Totally. Like you need to make sure that like you're doing your thing. And like when someone comes in hot like that, like love bombing, that can like infringe. That's also scary too, because not only are you like, wait, are you really feeling all this? But then you're like, you're going to come into be in my world all like all of a sudden.
I want to be in charge of those decisions. Do you know what I mean? I don't want someone else making those decisions like, I love you now. I want to live with you now. I'm going to own your soul. Where are we
Yeah.
going? I don't want, I get to decide.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, someone just needs to complement your life. They can't come in and overtake your life. When that's happening, even in the slightest sense, like I would go running for the hills.
Oh.
Because that person should only, in my opinion, I mean, these are my opinions. That person should make things better, easier, smoother, fun, more enjoyable, supportive. Like, if it's not that, we're done. I can't.
We have a girlfriend actually that went through a recent love bombing and like it's like very clinical too. Like he came on super strong, like was like, stay at my house, leave your stuff at my house. Let's spend the whole weekend together. Would do all these things, would bring her around his friends. Like I think she like co-hosted his birthday party, like very much like he's what is that movie? He's Just Not That Into You. That movie?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
When Jennifer Goodwin co-hosted that Justin Long's birthday. Anyway, the point is rom-coms. Rom-coms, guys.
See how we did that?
Yeah.
That's what we like.
Yeah, I can't remember things, so she does it.
Yeah,
So anyway, the point is, all of a sudden he started showing his true colors because he got more aggressive, because he reeled her in and started trying to convince her of things like, a sex tape and
like doing,
like not for
The
public
things.
consumption,
Yeah.
but like
Eventually.
he let his freak flag fly after he like reeled her in for like a month, and then month 2 was like, oh, he even took her away on her birthday, like a whole weekend to like Ojai, and like really put on the charm, like thick.
Yeah.
And then started letting these things come out, and she was like, I feel uncomfortable by these things, but I don't know what to do because I like him, and she did the whole thing.
Yeah.
And so
They know what they're doing, I think.
yeah. And it only came out later that this is like his thing, it's his pattern, and she like got out like before it got too bad, but it was like
It's a hard thing
Yeah.
to get out of too, because you start to like, there's so many levels of disappointment, you know?
Oh, yeah.
and then you question your judgment too. You're like,
Yeah.
how did I let this happen? I'm a normal human
right,
being
you
with
guys?
thinking.
Think about like, I wonder if love bombing, it doesn't say on here, but I wonder if it has like a table life or whatever, shelf
life, yeah.
I don't know. I can't talk either. God, it's the tequila.
But do you think?
Namaste-te-quila.
But like, are you allowed? Is love bombing? Does that happen if you've been in the relationship for like a year and then someone just like, bam, like they bring?
Wait,
What if?
But this is my question now, because I haven't been, like I told you, in the app dating world. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know how this goes. And I'm pretty sure when I listened to one of your shows and you were talking about apps and you're talking about how quickly things are moving and there's this sense of urgency.
Yeah.
Do you feel like these guys are mistakenly taking that sense of urgency and they're like, I got to dump it on her? Also, that's it just is so controlling to me.
Yeah.
Like, that's all I see.
Yeah.
But do you think that that's like a byproduct of these apps where people are like, I got to get through this chick and see if she's going to
I mean,
eat my...
I think I hear what
Take
you're
the
saying.
bait.
I feel like maybe a guy might feel like he has to be a little bit more aggressive just
Maybe.
because there's so many people on these apps. I mean, they know they're on the other end. They're swiping through the girls as fast as we're swiping through the guys. So maybe they do feel like they really need to like come on strong or really do make sure they really are thoughtful about their date or whatever. But I don't know. I mean, I do feel like you're right. Like this is very indicative of like a controlling / narcissist. So that's only, I mean, to actually go through the process like what our friend went through or what I went through or what we're describing here, that's like someone who's borderline clinical there. Like they're doing this on purpose or subconsciously. Moving fast in the dating app world probably does happen, but to take it to this step, I don't know.
It's scary out there. You guys just be happy you
mean-
have significant others. Okay, so obviously your current boyfriend did not love bomb you because it took, 20 years for this to even happen?
I mean, we need to,
yeah.
It's a funny story.
yeah, let's,
why don't you tell it?
please tell.
It's complicated, you guys.
Of course, like everything.
Yeah.
So his name is Matt, and I met Matt when we were in acting class. We were little baby children. I was like 21, I think, at the time. And I walked into acting class for the first time. I was there to audit, literally down the street, like 3 blocks from here. How weird is that?
Oh my God,
Weird.
who was the teacher?
Andrew Megarian.
Oh, I'm just, we talk about these things in LA because we feel like we all know each other, but I don't know who that person
Yeah,
is.
he doesn't advertise. He works
Okay.
with, anyway. So I walk in and he's sitting there and he's in hysterics, crying about his relationship with his father. And I'm just like, it was the weirdest thing. Like I looked at him and I'm like, that guy's either going to be my boyfriend or more. I'm 21.
Really?
Wait, or
Yeah.
more. I like that there was no less.
Oh, no.
Oh, but
There was
my
no less.
boyfriend was like the low end of the spectrum. Who was like all the other things were like, that was like nothing. Boyfriend? Pfft.
I don't know.
Wait, so what do you think
I don't
you
know.
initially?
I have no idea. I just watched him talk. I watched the way he spoke about his father.
But he's also
it
a
was-
big guy. To see him be emotional probably was very moving.
Oh yeah, he was
too.
a baseball player. He was he
Oh.
was quarterback at Kentucky. He was a minor league baseball player. So he's the jock. He's totally a jock, alpha male. But to see him be emotional and funny and endearing, I was like, oh no, I really like that guy. And he had a girlfriend at the time, so he didn't give me any time, any attention whatsoever, which made it worse because then I was like, oh, now we're in love.
Yeah.
We haven't had a real conversation, but.
You love bombed him in your mind.
In
Yes.
see, but I didn't go out and do it.
No,
I'm like,
thank
I'm
God.
That's fine
Did
in
you
your
write
mind.
your first name with his last name?
Probably. Oh, wait, I did.
Oh my God.
No, I did it in a notebook, my acting notebook. I found it just recently, like
Shut
a year
the
ago. We were
fuck
dating,
up.
and I was like, M-A-T-T. Anyway,
That is cute.
That is cute. So how'd you reconnect?
that's clinical, I think.
That's okay.
Yeah, and then but
It was a
wait,
long
though,
time ago.
but you had like a hardcore crush on him, and then you just let it go because acting class stopped.
So
or
it was
what?
back and forth. We were never single at the same time, and then I did let it go. Like life happened, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
You had a child.
Yeah, I got married. I got I got married. I opened a business. I had a baby. I closed the business. I got divorced. That all happened in the span of 2.5 years.
Oh my God,
That was
a lot.
the most.
And you're still standing. Look at you.
Barely. Tequila. No.
Wait, seriously, like, what did you, just to touch on that
Yeah.
a little, because that's huge. Like, what did you do, looking back on it? What
Oh,
did
there's
you
plenty looking back on it. In retrospect,
Yeah.
I loved him, my ex-husband,
Yeah.
and I was in love with him. There were red flags. I was blind to them. The red flags were that we were not a match. You know what I mean? Like, he had a good heart. He was who he was, but we were not a match. And I would overlook those because I'd be like, oh, relationships are hard. Marriages work. These are the things I'm told. And I love him, right? So that's what you sign up for. But they were hard in a way that weren't healthy and that were just unnecessary. So
Wait, I would like to point out to our audience right now, what is hard in a way that is healthy?
Yeah.
the work where you have to end up having uncomfortable discussions when you are supposed to go to a dinner with another couple and you have to sit
this
there.
is the unhealthy. Okay.
No, this is
Yeah.
what I'm saying.
Yeah.
What is hard in a healthy relationship is those kind of trials where is that what you're asking me?
Yeah, like what should okay, if we're gonna put like this is a bad situation and this is one you can work through and it's hard
all
because it's
relationships
okay.
have hardship. What is the one? Are you asking what's unhealthy and what's healthy?
Like, okay, so if you're both in good relationships, obviously you deal with hard stuff. What are some of the hard things that you deal with in like a healthy relationship versus the ones where you're obviously like, no, you need to get divorced?
Time management, being there for each other. Like, his family's in town and I don't get to see his family that much because I have a child and my child has to come first and he understands that, but it's still painful. Like, it's still, if we could go to Pasadena and hang out with his family all the time, I would love that. If the fact that he has to drive 40 minutes from downtown to come sit on the couch with me while my kid's asleep on a Monday night or a Wednesday night, like, those are our date nights. That's not fair. He's making a sacrifice in that way for me and I see it and I respect that. But
So those are the kinds of things that are hard and acceptable versus hard and you get divorced.
like hard where
Yeah,
you're married
so-
to someone who goes out at 11 and then doesn't come home until 3 and then sleeps until 11 and you're trying to run a business and have a newborn and he's like, I'm making money. And I'm like, what are you doing at 3 o'clock in the morning that's making us money? Like, I mean, it was some ugly.
So but
Okay.
hold on though, but that like you could, if you told yourself and rationalized like, well, that's time management, this is hard, like he's doing his job and I'm doing mine, like you can tell yourself all these things, but now you know the difference between all of that and because you now are in a situation that is healthy. My boyfriend has an 8.5-year-old daughter and there are some situations that are not always the most I would say easy or clean or whatever, but it's like also that's life, right? Like, I mean,
I was going to say, my boyfriend had the greatest line. I mean, he's, how old is he? He's 43. He's 5 years older than me. And I remember he said, when we were dating, because I was just apologetic all the time. Like, it was just hard after drama, after whatever. And he's like, Nicole, we're adults now. He's like, nobody is coming to the table baggage free. He's like, I've dated multiple divorced women. I've dated multiple women that have had a child or an abortion or what. Like, everyone's done the stuff. Like, if you're coming to the table at this point with nothing, then I'm freaking out. Like, where's your stuff?
Totally.
It's hidden and that's worse.
And that's worse. That is worse.
Totally.
That's not who I am. Like I even talk like that at my yoga classes because I don't want the perception that we need to be perfect, or there's nothing funny about that. There's nothing real. There's nothing approachable about perfection, and no one is perfect. Like, we're just walking flawed, wounded people.
And I always say too, I agree. It's like, so if there's ever a moment where there's a frustration or there's sadness or there's happiness or there's confusion or there's whatever, it's like, that's okay. That doesn't mean I don't want to be here.
Right.
Just because maybe there might be like something that happens that's not totally convenient. It's like, okay, but I'm allowed to feel that way and still love you and all the situation and still be here too. So you also have to take things with a grain of salt. Like, that is just the way things go. You don't choose when you love and don't love or whatever, within reason of like things being manageable, right?
Manageable.
I mean, and even still in those situations with maybe your ex or a more tumultuous relationship, you still love the person in those moments,
I mean,
but
and still to this day, like, he's a handful of a human, but I will always love him as the father of my kid. And that's hard because I worry about his well-being. And that's like as far as I can take it, really, because
And do you have a good relationship, like
Most of the time.
co-parenting with?
most of the time,
Yeah,
I mean,
sure.
it's
people are.
Yeah.
It's
you just
you
know how to work
meditate
it.
first? before you deal with him?
Yeah, or pray.
Okay, so
both.
speaking of meditation and like this whole like yoga lifestyle, like we all have Instagram, and if you don't, I don't know what you're doing, but there is this like persona that people that do like yoga take on. Like some are vegan and some are always meditating and some are writing these really inspirational things all the time. And it's like, or they have recipes or like there's like this very specific lifestyle.
Yes.
And they're always like very zen. And it's like, is there that much truth to that? Like, what do you think about this like yoga lifestyle?
Yeah.
Is that love bombing yoga? Like, what are they doing?
I can't.
Because I feel like you're very real. And I feel like you use it as like a practice for real. You're like, I use it and I try and practice it, but life.
There's a lot of things about yoga that you can use in life, even if you don't do yoga.
Right,
But
like-
that's just like anything. You can then post a picture on Instagram that you're living this lifestyle. You can go tell this person that you want to move in with them and love bomb them. And you can post or say whatever you want.
But like,
And it's-
are you really living that life? Do
but,
you
I
secretly
mean,
eat meat?
Also, you're allowed to practice yoga type lifestyle things without being doing yoga. Just, I mean, I guess you wouldn't claim you're a yogi, but you can still like practice, you know, being in the moment or whatever. You can apply those things to life without being.
But
like,
what do you think of those people? Like,
Okay,
are they
well,
love
I'm
bombing?
friends with a lot of those
the
people.
shit out of yoga.
I'm friends with a lot of those people, and some of them are bloggers, and some of them have created a brand around wellness and this and that, and they're very good at it, and they're very polished, and they have stuff to offer. I am not that person.
Yeah.
I will tell you funny jokes. I will make fun of myself. I'll show you some movement stuff I'm working on. Here's my child doing Michael Jackson Smooth Criminal. I mean, I just, my platform is it's not just that. It just isn't. And my diet's not perfect. I went vegan for 84 days because I watched What the Health and I was horrified. And I was like, what is our world coming to? I have to be a vegan now. And I did. And then I was like, but I need to eat fish. And I might also have to have candy. So at this point, I don't know what, you know, it just, you do what works for you.
Of course.
But
Right.
the perception of this facade of perfection and yogi bullshit.
And like what that means, right? Like you can still be a
can't
yogi
with
and
that.
eat fucking candy.
Are you zen
because-
all the time? Like, is that a thing?
Do I look zen?
No, but I don't know how anyone like pretends to be that.
No, because yoga teachers are crazy. That's why they became yoga teachers. Because they have a lot of anxiety or a lot of energy, and they like to sweat and they like to move their bodies. Those types of people
Oh my
find those
God,
fields for
why
a
am
reason.
I not a yoga teacher? Those
You
are
should
all
be.
of the things.
There's plenty of time. I know 100 teacher trainings you can do.
Oh my
You can do
God.
any of them.
I mean,
I would totally do it, by the way, except that I would never be able to remember the names of things. Like, at all. The fact that
mean-
I'd have to remember it and say it in
Like
Sanskrit.
Ardhabada Paschimottanasana.
Right, like what? You're just saying syllables is what you
No,
just did.
like,
You're like,
honestly,
I'm going
did
to
you
add
have-
an
No
A
consonants.
after every hard, like,
did you
syllable.
have a hard time with that?
Yeah, I wanted, because I came to yoga as a dancer, and then I wanted to know everything immediately. And I remember my yoga mentor at the time, he was like, I was like, can you write the words down? Can you write the Sanskrit words down so I can learn them? He goes, no. He's like, you need to practice. And when you hear them enough, then you'll start to learn them. And I was like, that's messed up, but I see what
fuck
you're
you,
doing.
but okay, fine.
Because that was
Yeah.
that was years and years ago. It's not like that anymore. Like they hand you handbooks now and this and that. Like my training was truly read Patanjali's sutras and then get your ass on the mat and get your ass on the mat and stay on the mat and then ask questions and then go back to the mat. Like it wasn't like it is now for me.
Speaking of the mat, I would like to contribute my favorite quote, which I'm going to butcher.
Oh,
It was
of
from the
course.
book. I'll tell you the book's name at least. You can go buy the book and look for it. But it's 30 things every woman should know by the time she's 30.
I have 40 things that everyone should know by the time they're 40.
Okay, well, then you should write that book before this other person did, unless they did it already. But go do that.
No, she has the
I
book.
have it.
Oh, no. Oh, it's a real book?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't even. Well, good. Things to look forward to. Please hand it down one day.
I mean, I am past 30, so I would not be able
Same.
to read
no,
that book.
no,
Because I'd be depressed.
You should read this one. That's
Yes.
amazing. Wait,
Yeah.
but I should read it before I do that. So anyway, the point is, I forget who said it because I can't remember shit. But someone said, "Stay on your own mat." That your life is your life. It's your practice. It's going to be different every day. It's not going to be the same as the person next to you. Even though I'm looking at them during class, and I'm like, "How'd you get in that?"
But
pose?"
that's okay, though. But that's okay. Just still remember where you're at.
right. And that's my favorite quote. I live by it.
It's a good
Yeah.
one.
Yeah, even like yoga aside, the fact that I also do yoga is a different story. But I like the concept that like your mat is literally a small little thing and like stay on it. Like your day is your day, your emotions are that, like your history is yours. I love it.
Yeah.
It's so impactful.
And listen, you can adopt that thought, even though you might not be a fucking yoga all the time. Like that's something that you
That's
can.
the idea. You take
Yes.
these practices
Yes.
off the mat. The asana is like an eighth of the actual yoga practice. There's so much more. Philosophy, meditation, breath work. Like it goes on for days, but we don't address those things because we're in the West and we want to look good and we've turned it into a fitness empire. I mean, $1 billion empire.
How does that make you feel? Because you're
great.
like in it.
Not great. I mean, I love what I do. I love to watch people transform and feel good in their bodies, but it's an uncomfortable thing because I was trained by people that were not that.
Yeah.
They weren't those types.
But it's like in order to do it, you have to sort of sell. You have to like.
But things evolve. You can't deny that. Like
Yeah.
the
Right.
fact that it is $1 billion
Yeah.
business is because it's helping people and
Yes.
people are benefiting.
Yes,
So
totally.
Yeah,
Yeah, you have to
cons.
like be part of it. Yeah, nothing
Yeah,
is
it's-
totally perfect, and you know.
Okay, so speaking of perfect, do you think this is a perfect date or is this love bombing your life? What if you go on a yoga date with somebody that's like your first date or second date? Like, is that too soon to bring someone into your like routine and your fitness? Like, is that for you or like should you bring someone into it?
didn't you do that?
Okay, a couple times.
I think it's
To
okay
my
to,
class?
Yeah.
I think it's okay to do, especially if it's something that like you do a lot of, like you do a lot of yoga. And especially if like, let's say that the guy or girl that you're with is like a really avid yogi, then yeah, that would make sense to go do that.
But
That
like,
would
how
be perfect.
soon is a love bombing to bring them in? Like, here's the thing: time is precious. Like, if I want to like see someone, I'm like, well, how can I make this work? I need to multitask.
How can we multitask? The
Right.
events?
I'm like, and I would like to know that this person does yoga in their life or they're open to it. Like, you can be bad at it. Just start. Or like be open to trying yoga.
Yeah.
Because I love yoga and that could be something cute we do together because
Yeah.
like I love it.
No, 100%. When I got divorced, I was like, the next man that I'm with will do yoga. He will be, because my ex-husband did it one time, and I remember at one point we did like one vinyasa, and he looks up at me, and I'm like, and we're like back down. I'm like, chaturanga. He's like, I'm not going back down. I have to go back down. He was 6'8". He was huge.
Oh,
He was
okay.
like an enormous human. My
Okay.
point is, if it's something that you enjoy and you love, and it's a meaningful part of your life, that person has to resonate with it, because
at
those are
some
the deal
level.
breakers
Yeah.
where.
But what if they're really bad?
Then
That's
you
okay.
close your eyes and go to a dark room like Playlist Yoga in West Hollywood, 624 North Sciacca.
It does not matter if they're bad, if they're trying or they want to be
That's
there.
right.
You know
Okay,
what I'm saying?
And if they're doing it for you, maybe they know
Yeah.
they're bad, and that's even a
Right,
better,
true.
more
And then they don't care
fantastical
how they
thing.
look. They're like,
Yeah.
I don't care. Then they're not. Then that's a good sign.
It is. However, I did bring someone, as you referenced, Nicole, to class one time many, many moons ago. And this person had like told me that they were
Many half moons ago. Wasn't that a-
Oh, that's so good.
Yes.
So good.
So anyway, this person like promised they were amazing at yoga. And by promise, I mean like swore up and down. They're like, I am amazing at Bakasana. And like, that's the one I can remember. So I just said that one. But he actually did say he's really great at like crow pose. And like, he's like, I bet I'm better than you. And I'm like, I didn't want to make a bet, but I'm promising you in my mind that I am better than you. But we'll get there and see. So we go, and he is horrendous at yoga. And I'm like, your bravado for yoga was appalling.
And like the
And I never
opposite
saw
of
him again. I'm like, I
yoga.
wasted a credit on you.
Oh, that's the
mad.
worst.
Not a credit.
He
That's
love
like-
bombed me with yoga knowledge, and I was like,
Yeah.
no.
No, that's
False.
not. That's no. We don't.
False.
We don't do that.
But you know what? Good, it came up fast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Versus 3 months, and then you go to a yoga class and,
And
still
then,
talking shit.
yeah, I agree. I think you have to be with somebody that like supports you, even if they're like not. I mean, you probably thought it was nice that your ex tried and like was there, and then in the moment you're like, oh,
No, yeah.
And then it's not nice anymore. But
it's not
your
nice.
guy does go.
He
I've
takes my
seen him
class.
in class.
Okay, so you met him like however long ago. Then you were always with someone. He was always with someone. You were married.
Oh, and I'm telling you, he moved to Florida. He moved back to LA. He moved back to Florida. I was in LA the whole time because I haven't left this freaking city.
And so then now you're divorced for how long? And how did you reconnect? Like what
So-
happened?
Tell us.
I got divorced. We decided to get divorced around Easter, February, March, April, May. And by Mother's Day, he just happened to send me a Facebook message. And he's like, Happy Mother's Day. And I was like, oh my God, that's really nice. He's like, how are you? I'm like, great, I'm getting divorced. He's like, what?
But wait, hold on. I just have to ask you something because I
Timing
need you
is
to finish
everything.
this. But like, when you first met him, you were like, I want this guy to be my boyfriend. And like, was there any point in between that, seeing him crying, talking about his dad, and this Facebook message about I'm divorced? Was there any point in time where either of you like outwardly flirted with each other?
Oh, yeah,
or,
we met up for lunch a couple times,
what
like
happened?
over
Talked
the
about-
years. Here's the problem. He's a decent human being, and I liked narcissist assholes, and I needed to make a lot of bad choices to realize that, do you want to live like that forever? No, you don't. You really don't.
No. Okay.
So it took me a long time. I was real
But
stubborn.
did he ever like express to you that he liked you, or he never said it? But you
it was there. He again, when he was single, it was clear that he was interested. But when he wasn't, he was very appropriate.
So then when you said, which is nice, when you said I'm divorced, it was sort of like
not divorced. I'm getting divorced.
Getting divorced.
And he's like, let's go to lunch.
And did you instantly feel it again?
I freaked out.
Did you feel?
I was like, what have you done? You've opened the floodgates. Who's coming to get you? People are gonna be knocking on the door in a minute. Like, what the? Right?
Dude, and did you feel like you weren't ready?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Then I started freaking out. Then I'm like, you jumped the gun. This is like a really good guy.
Don't
You can't go from
love
a
bomb
horrible
him.
divorce.
Yeah.
Right. But we went to lunch, and it was a almost 6 hour lunch at Tender Greens. One of the best restaurants.
Oh my God!
Wow, I didn't know you could actually spend that much time there.
I mean,
Turns
if
out
it
you
doesn't,
can.
Turns out you can if it's with the right person.
Yeah, because then there's so much to talk about.
We
and
had a
I'm
lot
sure
to talk about.
Right, you did.
And was it instant from that point, or how?
I mean, it was. I know him, and our banter is like baka, 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 and there's a lot of good chemistry. And I know his family, and I know what he's made of, and I know what his dreams and hopes. I mean, like I knew a lot about him, and so being able to connect like that with the freedom of timing.
Yes.
Timing is everything.
It is.
That's the crazy thing I wonder about you guys in this like urgency to date business. Like I feel like that's almost a rabbit hole because timing is so important that you don't even get the grace of that because you're trying to just keep up with the next person who's in your
that could
DM
be part
or
of the
whatever.
problem.
Well, I think that it's the duality between timing being like a force and also trying to make things happen.
Yeah.
And trying to participate in
Yeah,
your
that
life.
makes sense.
And so you're fighting both battles. Like every single day, I tell you this. I have several girlfriends that are great single girls that will say to me, I give up today. Tomorrow, you know what? I'm going to take matters into my own hand. I am swiping. I'm going to do all the following things. I'm going to redo my profile. I'm going to go on 100 dates. I'm going to make it my job. And then 3 weeks later, I hate this. I'm quitting. I'm going to wait till the person just finds me. It's back and forth all the
It's
time.
an emotional roller coaster. There was plenty of times in my 10 years of being single where I watched people get married and divorced and have kids. And meanwhile, I'm like, wow, this is fucking fun. Wow. And trust me, there were moments where I was like, fuck this shit. But I would just like lose my shit by myself in my apartment and cry. Like, what's wrong with me? Like, it was long enough to get there. And there were definitely moments where I was like, I'm having so much fun right now. I'm not even bothered by this. Or sure, I'll go on that date. You
Roller
don't even-
coaster.
Oh, a major roller coaster.
No, it makes sense. It makes
was
sense.
a lot. It's a lot to deal with. It is not always fun.
I keep suggesting singles events at yoga because I feel like that's the place to meet somebody. But
That would be good.
maybe my voice isn't loud enough or something. I don't know.
I feel like
yours.
it's anything like that. Any like group activity where it says a little bit something about you, a little bit more than just like I like to have fun drinking at a bar, which is totally also fine. But like it says a little bit something like maybe you've discipline or you're healthy or whatever to an extent. Like there's something a little more information revealed at this
Like
event.
that you are Namas-TE-quila.
That too.
They should have that on the.
Yeah, thank
Table
you,
outside.
Playlist Yoga. We just made you a
even have-
custom drink.
We even have a tequila sponsor, Playlist Yoga. We'll make this happen.
So so you go on this date, and then was it that or whatever? You go to Tender Greens, and then
You go to your
was
lunch.
that it?
No, then we would have more lunches. And then my mom went on like the third one because my mom knew him and she was in town. And then, I mean, it
He's
was
so brave to like just.
But
he
you
just
just
met
kept
my
going.
mom, I
You just
think.
kept going on lunches. Like, did you ever go out? And when was the time that you went out and it turned into like?
Oh no, he would come over to my house and we'd sit and he wouldn't touch me.
Well, you don't like to be touched anyway.
Well, no,
so
I set that one up for you. That's fine. He wouldn't like. I would be like, I would be so wanting to make out with him, and he's like, let's just because our friendship.
that only makes it worse.
Oh no, I know because I was going crazy.
and then you're like, what the fuck?
But I knew he was attracted to me. But I knew what he was doing because he was like, bro, you're not even completely out of this marriage. Like, just slow your roll. I get it. You're like horny. You're ready to go. Like, I get it. Slow down. And he was classy enough to like not blow it all up.
Yeah.
And I appreciated that because then I had time to think in that process versus love bombing him in the opposite direction.
You also
Or
waited
just-
long
that's what I'm
enough. I feel
saying.
like it's been enough
That's-
years. You can
that's
wait a
what-
little longer.
And also,
That
that's
was,
that's what I think that our listener Janelle was talking about. Like getting so excited in the moment and then being like, hold on, wait though. I should maybe like I should maybe slow down to like just make sure I'm like paying attention to everything. Not even just red flags on his end, but like even for yourself, right? Like where
Janelle's
are you?
self-aware.
So I
appreciate
I
that.
think that's smart. You know, I mean, I'm not saying completely stop your feelings, but it's also hard in the moment to like stop feeling those good feelings. So
Yeah.
how did you do it? Like, what did you?
We just paced ourselves, and I wanted to move out of the place that we lived in together. So my ex-husband moved out, and I was there with my kid, right?
Yes.
And I'm like, I can't even pretend to be physical with you in this place because it's tainted with really crazy memories and a 2-year-old. So I want to move into my own place. And then once I moved into my own place and I had a fresh, clean slate, it was just like game on.
Okay.
Because I had a new, you know what I mean? I had a new vision for what my
Yes.
life could be.
I totally am that way too. Once I attach like memories and visual things to things, and so then if it's bad, I'm like, oh, like it produces the feeling even just looking at it for me. I'm like, I can't.
No, that's like scientific. That's the thing.
How long between the Tender Green's first date and then the like first kiss? How long?
Oh, oh no, we kissed. We would like peck. It was so crazy.
Cute.
I
You
would
guys
go
were like
crazy.
kids.
We're totally kids.
Yeah.
and we're
That's
so
fun.
old.
But like the moment
that's
where
fun.
it changed from that, like from
well, when
you
I
know what
moved into my new place, like so Halloween.
Okay.
Wait, April.
We went from Easter to Halloween. I like that we have holidays.
Yeah.
Okay.
What is that? March, April, May, June, July,
6
August,
months.
September, October.
Oh.
Dang.
Yeah.
Well, you're not supposed to actually count March.
All right, I did not count any March. Wait, no, May, June, July, August, September, October.
6 months.
She did the math fast.
I usually don't count on me for that, but for some reason I did.
Yeah,
That's what
it
I'm
was
here
6
for.
months.
I don't have words,
6
but I
months.
have math.
And then it was fucking on.
Yeah, then it was on, and then it's been on ever since. But
That's amazing.
I know.
And he's with your kid tonight.
he's
I mean, he sounds like
Yeah.
a really good
No, you guys,
guy.
he's amazing. I mean, he partially raised his nephew while his sister died of breast cancer, and he took in his nephew for a couple years. And I mean, he's a really great guy.
Oh God, you got yourself a good one.
Timing, though. Sometimes it has to happen. All
Yes.
this stuff has to
Well,
happen.
obviously, listen. I mean, you knew him for
17 years,
That's
16
Hi,
years.
Chihuahua.
You have to wait 16 years.
No, I'm
See,
not
a
gonna
decade's
do that.
nothing.
I'm not going to wait 16 years.
Hey, listen,
I
I've
don't have
waited a
time to-
real long
I'm
time.
going to marry my dog, so it's fine.
Oh, I married
good.
my cat like
good.
over and over and over.
Or my
Because
dog
marriage,
doesn't.
see, and this is the other thing. Like Matt always says, why do we have this need to check boxes?
Yeah.
He's like, the society has set up these boxes for us, and we all feel like that was what I did. I was like, I gotta get married, I gotta get engaged, I gotta have a wedding, I gotta have a baby, I gotta, and then it all blows up, and I'm like, oh, solid. So that was great.
Yeah, so like, look what all that did.
yeah, because I
Yeah.
checked the boxes at the right time.
Right.
Yeah, or not.
Like, don't
here-
check the boxes. Matt's
yeah.
never been married. He doesn't have a child. Like, he's in no rush to do those. He's like, I don't know, like, if I love someone, we talk about it because he's like, I love you and I
Yeah.
would want to be with you. But it's different. Like, I don't feel this driving urge to do
Yeah.
something.
Well, you have
Yeah.
like you have the kid, and usually people want to get married because then they like do the thing like you did, like the stepping
Yeah.
stones to
Yeah.
getting to the place because it's socially acceptable and also
Yeah.
legal and all
Yeah,
that
I
jazz.
feel like I'm like, dude, I could just have a kid and not. We don't need to do all that. I just don't.
But the cool thing about getting married is you get to register for like a Cuisinart.
That's
know?
like where it is.
Yeah,
Like,
right.
It gets
But
complicated.
also, you have to
I
spend
wouldn't
like
use it, but
$20,000 on a fucking wedding.
You guys are going to
Oh.
need a second podcast on marriage because
yeah,
that's,
obviously.
it's
That's
amazing
why
how
it's complicated
changes.
forever.
It's complicated.
It was very
forever.
open ended for that reason. Now,
Yeah.
speaking of being open,
But wait, hold on.
what?
Keep that thought. It's amazing how it changes marriage. What do you mean by that?
Yeah, what?
Like once it's from the beginning.
I would say, so if there's a honeymoon period, that's fantastic afterward. And then it becomes, in my experience, a lot of, if you're not careful and you don't have these discussions beforehand, it becomes an expectation game where you have a vision, and you may not realize it, of what you want your future and your marriage to look like. And then your husband or whomever has a vision of what they envision marriage to look like. And then if you're not very clear on those two things, like who does the dishes, who's in charge, who's the sole breadwinner, or maybe you're both breadwinners, or maybe you like to sleep in on Saturdays and they're not. So those conversations, like if you're not living with someone before or you haven't had those conversations, you kind of revert into, I don't know.
But shouldn't those conversations, I totally hear you. That makes 1,000,000% sense. But shouldn't those conversations be happening in the relationship so that then before the
yes.
marriage happens, then you know, you're like,
Yes.
because you can't have a relationship married or not without knowing those things anyway.
True. I think I'm thinking more about having children.
Oh yeah.
Because then at that point,
How you want to parent and
Right.
whose
Because you're gonna-
responsibility is what. And
you'd be surprised how much you revert back to the way you were raised, or how one of your parents, the
Yeah, because
dominant,
that's what you know.
right.
Yeah.
and you don't even know what that's like until
No.
you have this thing
Yeah.
to take care of, and you're like, no, but the way it should be done is ga 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 ga.
Because you've seen it done through. That's the only time you saw it done.
Or
Right.
what about then even take it now to even your relationship now? Like you're raising a son and you're with somebody else who is part like and so I'm in his shoe. I'm in your
Yes.
boyfriend's shoes where I'm like
The dynamic's hard,
Yeah.
isn't it? I mean, because
Yeah.
you probably have opinions, and then
Yes.
you're like, this is not my job. And Matt and I had at a point where, I mean, there's a lot of information, but his father basically raised his sisters who were half sisters to him. So his mom had them before she met his dad. And he just, at 19, married his mother and adopted these two girls and just stepped up to the plate. And Matt saw that. So Matt's heard that storyline. He knows that. I mean, it's kind of freaky. So for him for him to have the foresight and whatnot. But even at one point, we had this kind of a blow up where I felt like there was tension between my child and Matt because they were different. They were
it's a power struggle.
Yes. And boys are different. They want to protect the female. He was the man of the house. Matt's coming into the house. I mean, at 3, this was happening.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
No, it doesn't
It's
matter.
a real thing.
It's a real thing.
So Matt had to talk with his dad, and he's like, tell me what I'm supposed to do here. And his dad said, you need to stand back and let the mom be the mom.
Discipline. I was told the
Right.
same
It's-
exact
and
thing.
And it was
your
the
child.
greatest advice. It changed everything. My
Everything.
kids saw him as a fun guy versus
But I
some
kept
guy
saying,
coming
like,
in to try
I
and
would be,
discipline.
too. I'm like, well, I'm not just the fun person here.
No.
But you can guide from stepping back.
Yep.
And that
it
probably
changes.
grows,
It
too.
evolves.
Right.
Exactly. So you start off as the fun person, but then they start to see you're present, you're consistent,
Yeah.
you love them.
They
You're
already
doing
trust
things-
you and they like you.
Yes, that's where it
So
has
when you
to start.
say it, then it's like a different place. Not just some person coming in and like,
Yes, totally.
and you're like, well, you're not my dad.
Oh, yeah.
And you're not my
And
mom.
you're never
just
gonna
a
be.
person.
And you're never
Never.
gonna be.
Right.
And that's okay. Okay, well, good. There was something that you said that made me, I had to dig. And
No, I
that is very
love
good
that.
advice to anybody because, listen, we all date people that have things and we, need to cover all the bases. And really, 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 really quick, in like 10 seconds, we're going to play this really quick game because it's really funny. And we really need you to help us make it less complicated. So, because the dating and relationships world is very complicated and we think that there are certain personalities and people and we want you to match them with a yoga pose. If we give you a type of person, you need to name that they are this yoga pose. Okay, ready? It's called Strike a Poser.
This is unbelievable.
A person who lives in Santa Cruz.
Happy baby?
Yeah, totally. Okay.
Okay. A lumbersexual who rocks a man bun.
Tree pose.
Yes!
Yeah, obviously.
Get it?
Oh my God. Okay.
So good.
A trust fund baby who dates girls or guys 10 years younger or older.
There's not a gold digger pose, but I'm going to go with like just a nice deep forward fold where your head's almost in your ass.
Yes. Oh my
So
God.
good.
One more, Jen.
Okay. The one who has a steady career, a home, and a dog.
What was your favorite pose?
Warrior.
Jen?
I like
Warrior.
Yeah.
That describes
Warrior.
you, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'd say, yeah, warrior.
Perfect.
Warrior 3. Warrior 3.
Ooh.
That's
my
because that
favorite,
that's
'cause
a
you've
good
got
one.
Is it- balance.
Yeah, I like
No,
Warrior.
It's because
3.
you.
What?
If you have hypermobile hamstrings, hyperflexible
Which I
hamstrings,
do.
it's horrible.
Oh.
Really? Interesting. I don't know
like
if you
it.
have hyperflexible hamstrings.
Oh, maybe
I don't. Mine
I
are
just think I'm
tight, but I
flexible in
can.
general.
Yeah. Well, listen.
We should test it out.
I like that. We have a lot of other ones that we can play later too if you come back on. Thank you for playing. Remind everyone where they can find you, please.
You can find me at Playlist Yoga in West Hollywood and the Instagram. I love to call it the Instagram.
On the Instagram, everyone.
NicoleSciaccaYoga.com. And yeah, I guess that's it, really.
Okay. Great.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much for joining us. And guys, don't forget to tune in next week for the foodie magician. Josh Beckerman
Oh my
is coming
God.
on the show. He's going to do some magic and some stuff.
It's gonna be magical.
And we're going to show you our favorite gifts from the Oscar gifting
Yes,
suites.
Oscar Sundays this Sunday. We went to the gifting suites and we have some things to show you. And we're really excited and stretching in our yoga clothes right now.
Namaste.
Yes. And Jen, where can everyone find you?
At Jennifer Golden on all the social media platforms and dating apps where you have your cell phone.
And you can find me at Lauren Leonelli on all of the social medias as well. We will see you guys next week. Thank you so much.
Love you a long time.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV Network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.